Welcome back, guys. I'm filthy. I just got off work, but I'm super excited for today's video. What we're doing today isn't super huge, but it will make a big difference. If you want to stick around, stay tuned for that. I would love for you guys to watch this video. Thank you again for all the support. We have grown quite a few subscribers in the past few days, and it's been outrageous, and I love it. And thank you again. So I'm gonna go get changed and we'll get on with the video. Okay, so I'm gonna get straight into it. I'm not gonna play around any. This is what we've got for the Mk8 GTI. What this is going to do is fix our crack prone shift knob, and it kind of just feels wonky in the hand anyways. And then over here we have a matching alcantara boot to go with it. I haven't even opened this up yet because I wanted to wait for you guys. Okay, we're gonna go ahead, open it up. It's a very nice box, as you can see. I love how it's got kind of a blueprint of the shift knobs. So what we're gonna do, slide her open like so. I'm gonna try and do this while showing you guys. So there you go, there's your shift knob. It looks like that is going to be our coin in our shift boot zip tie along with our Allen key. So what I did, and I hope this wasn't a bad decision, was I actually got the alcantara. It's a light gray. Let me just pop it out of the plastic. We're gonna be putting it on anyways. Just try not to get it too dirty, if I can. Jesus. Okay, here we go. We've got this beautiful weighted alcantara shift knob, and this is going to be how it mounts. You're going to have an Allen key screw or bolt that goes on both sides of those, and that'll actually clamp it to the shift rod in the Mk8 GTI. So now let's head out to the car and we'll go ahead and install these. So I'm going to be 100% honest, I haven't done this on a Mk8 GTI yet, obviously. I have done this on a Mark 6, and I'm hoping it's fairly similar. What I think we're going to have to do is pop up this border, and then that should raise the bezel and the shift boot, and we should be able to access the shift knob from underneath that. Okay, so you got a couple options here. You can either stick your hand inside and try and pull from underneath, or I'm replacing the shift boot anyways, mostly because it's already starting to wear on the front where the stitching is. So I just grabbed the shift boot, pulled straight up, and it popped right off. So now we're going to lift up the shift boot itself. There it is. Okay. So now we've got this, it's almost like a little clamp. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's a clamp, but it's a pinch clamp. So we are going to have to spread that pinch apart in order to pull the shift knob off. So I'm going to go ahead and start trying to pry this off to get the shift knob and shift boot out of the way. And just like that, with a little bit of fighting with a flathead, came right off. As you can see, there is the shift boot shift knob. She's in there. She's garbage. We're getting rid of her. Time to upgrade to a new one. Shift bezel and our shift boot, and we're going to go ahead and take this one apart, take all the little staples out, and assemble the new shift boot, the alcantara one, onto the bezel and get it ready for installation. And that should all go pretty easy. You do not have a clamp like this guy for the new shift boot. It is a zip tie, as I showed in the beginning of the video. Okay, so like I said, we are going to take our old shift boot and our old shift knob. We are going to disassemble it from the bezel here with the staples. I left the new shift boot outside. Anyways, we're going to disassemble it and take this guy off and then place our new one where we would like it to sit. Go ahead and probably re-staple or glue those down and put everything back together. And I forgot to mention the Black Forest Industries shift knob, the Alcantara one that I got, is weighted, so it will give you a little bit more of a crisper feel. And there's one more thing that will be coming that will also help, but that is another video. So let's get on to this one. Okay, so what I ended up doing was taking the bezel, I pulled against the staples. Sorry, I need to be looking over here. I pulled against the staples with the shift boot, and I ended up just tearing it, which made it a lot easier to just go ahead and get this out of the way. I can deal with the staples a lot easier without the shift boot in the way. Let's go ahead and grab the new shift boot and see exactly how we want to put it on there before I take any more of this apart. Also, be super careful. This is thin plastic. Yes, it's brand new. No, if you manhandle it, it will not stay together. You will break it. That's just how, that's how the Mark 6 was, that's how the Mark 7 was, and it's how the Mark 8 is. But one thing I will say is this isn't covered in silver shiny bezel that likes to flake off and cut your fingers. If you own a Mark 7 or a Mark 6, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, on to the video. Let's get this thing assembled and go drive and see how it feels. And I am really hoping that the Alcantara holds up over time. I'm going to be touching it all the time, so I mean it will wear, but I'm hoping it doesn't get disgusting super fast. Okay, we got our new shift boot, and I'm opening it, but I already looked inside the package and took a closer look at how they want us to go ahead and put this on. So, once again, if I can open it, seems to be the theme of this video. Can he do it? Yes, yes I can. Okay, here's our nice, pretty Alcantara matte, not cheap leather shift boot. So, if you come over into the bag, also with the shift boot, they give you this little roll, and what this is what this does is it goes around the edge of your shift boot retainer. That's pretty much what it is. It's a clip, it's a retainer. That's this guy. This will go around the edge of it. The shift boot itself has these holes on 4 corners of it, which will line up with these pegs right here. And then you will go ahead and mat the shift boot down to the edge of this retainer. It'll hold it in place, you'll slip it back in, and when we're ready to, we'll slide the shift knob right through there and zip tie it from the inside. Give us a nice clean look, and you'll never know that the zip tie is there. This guy. Okay, so I need to figure out orientation of the shift boot, and I will be right back. Okay, well that was pretty easy and quick. Didn't take me long. I'm glad I left the shift knob on there for me to look at. But you're going to have one side that has one straight line, if it'll focus, down the center. That's going to be your front. That's going to go in the center. That'll line up with this guy. And then the two on the back will line up with these two guys. So I guess had I taken the shift knob off of the shift boot, we could have figured it out, but that makes it a heck of a lot easier for us. So I'm gonna run the 3M strip around the actual retainer itself, get it put on, and we'll go throw the shift knob on and throw it back in the car. Alright, here's my first complaint about this. I went ahead, I started rolling it out across, and you can see not quite long enough. So what I did was I tore a piece off of this end, I put it on the corner in hopes that it holds it down. I guess we'll see. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the shift boot on here, and hopefully it stays. I'll let you know. Just a heads up, this stuff is super sticky, so make sure when you place it, it is exactly where you want it. Try and keep it lined up with the top of that shift clip, shift bezel, shift boot retainer, whatever we decide to call it, and you'll have very, very minimal that actually hangs over the edge. You will have to push the corners down where these pegs are, because you are going to want to hook the shift boot around those. Okay, so we went ahead, we got it on there. I am a little worried about the spot that doesn't have adhesive on it. I just hope that when I guess if I put this side in first, it should hold down just fine. This side has adhesive, I'm not worried about it, but overall, pretty good fit. We'll go ahead, get the shift knob on there ready to go, and put her in the car and see how she looks. Okay, so we got our nice new boot here. We're going to take it and just crush it. Just say, screw it, get rid of it, we don't want it. Just kidding. What we're going to do is pull the actual opening for the shift knob. We're going to pull it through, and what this is going to do is give us access to the back side to zip tie that shift knob to it. So I'm going to leave it like this just for a moment, pretty flat, and I'm going to work the shift knob through it before I do anything else, because if I can't get the shift knob in there, then it's kind of pointless. Alright, there we are. Shift knob is nice and surrounded. It's not secured, but she's surrounded. And we are going to take it just like so and kind of pull her up as far as we can. You do want to have access to your Allen key holes right there. So what we'll do now, set her just on down. It does look like this lowers our fulcrum. I guess not really, it artificially does it. Your fulcrum obviously would be below on a manual, we'll say all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive that isn't cable driven. So this artificially shortens the throw. Besides the point. So what we're going to do, just pull that guy up and find your Allen key holes and get those screwed in. And I will be right back when I do so, because it's going to be a pain. We're going to go ahead, tighten the shift knob with those two Allen keys, get it positioned where we want it. Oh, where I was going with that was once you zip tie it, then, I mean, I've got two zip ties because the shift boot comes with one and the shift knob comes with one. But once it's zip tied, that shift boot's going to be where it is. So, lift up on our shift boot right here. Go ahead. We're going to want to tighten these pretty tight. You're going to want them snug. Obviously, don't strip them out because then you'll be SOL. But make sure they're snug. And then we'll put that zip tie on. Hold that shift boot in place with the shift knob. Alright, that one is tight, so we'll come over to the other side. You want to make sure that these are in a spot where you're going to be able to get to them. Obviously, if they're both pointed towards the passenger side, you're going to have your center console in the way. That's just food for thought. Alright, those are getting pretty snug, so we'll give her a pull test. She feels pretty dang good on there. So pull your shift boot back into place. Go ahead, line her up where you want her. Take your handy dandy zip tie. All cars are held together with these, by the way, if you did not know. It's just kind of a prerequisite to being in the automotive field. I'm going to face this towards me, make life a little bit easier. go ahead and slide her through. Before we snug this up, we are going to give her just another quick check, make sure she is where we want her to be. I guess I have 2 shots at this, but I'd rather do it the first time than have to try and cut this off of this nice shift boot and try again. So I think that's pretty snug. Obviously you're going to be able to make slight adjustments, but that is now where it's going to sit and live. We'll go ahead, we are going to trim the edge of this because you do not want that poking into the side of your shift boot and ripping it. So yeah, we'll go ahead, we'll cut that, we'll put everything down. I'm still a little worried about this back piece, but you know, it is what it is. We'll make it work. And here is our nice finished product. As you can see, the Black Forest Industries emblem right there, now all pressed on. This is held on with 3M tape. Make sure you once you peel that off, you put it straight onto the shift knob. Make sure the shift knob is clean if you got it dusty, or else it will not stick. But I will have to go for a drive. That feels nice. Also, I gotta call my wife back. She called me while I was filming this. I ignored it. Probably not the best idea, but we're actually going out tonight to cruise with Casey, Mason, Sarah, and Melissa, and my wife and myself. So this is a nice little touch to do before we head out and go to the cruise. So I'll be able to give you an honest review, my honest opinion by the end of the video, if this is worth it or if you should just save your money. Right now, I can tell you, I think it's worth it. I have driven about 15 minutes with it so far. I absolutely love it. The extra bit of weight, it's not a lot, but the extra little bit of weight does make the shifting kind of follow itself. So you don't have to necessarily follow all the way through, but it does just make it easier for you when you're going into those gears. So that's a bonus, along with just the aesthetic. It looks so much better with the black alcantara versus that cheaper fake leather, that vinyl looking stuff. So overall, so far, I'm happy with it. We are about to head out and go cruise. Casey's gonna meet us there, and I'll probably get a little bit of that, but overall, shift knob, shift boot install was a success. Like I said, only complaint was that 3M tape that they provided, but we were able to make it work. Not a big deal. So, Black Forest Industries, if anybody's watching, I love your product so far, and I probably will be spending more of my money with you. So thanks for that. I'm sure my wife will love you. If you couldn't tell, that was sarcasm. Anyways, I'm gonna get on with the night and I will bring you guys along. Well guys, it has been 3 days since we have installed our shift knob and shift boot. Everything seems to be holding up fairly well. I wanted to wait a little bit longer to finish out the video, mostly to go ahead and see if the bottom of that shift boot actually stayed there, which it hasn't moved one bit. So that is a bonus. Didn't get any footage of cruising around, just was a pretty relaxed night, and wanted to enjoy it as such. If you guys have stayed this long in the video, thank you very much. I know this is probably a longer video, and it's a long time to listen to me talk. So, I won't keep you any longer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Peace.